Oh, there we go. Yeah, I like that. So last weekend, I played a tennis match for the first time in what seemed to be forever. Now going into this match, I was completely underprepared. Although I'd hit lots of tennis balls during my coaching sessions, I hadn't trained for myself for months. And as a result, I really felt it in the match. Now I did manage to sneak the victory. I managed to win in a third set tiebreak, but I wasn't happy with my performance and how I felt after the match. My body was in absolute bits. Now as a result of winning this match, our team has qualified for the finals of the National Club League playoffs. And so I've got another match this weekend. Now, as you can see behind me, the weather here is pretty grim, and one of my lessons today has actually cancelled due to bad weather. And so I thought I'd take this opportunity to hit some balls for an hour and film it so you guys can see how I prepare for my next match. Let's go. So as I mentioned, for my last match, I was pretty underprepared, and a few things during the match made that really obvious. Firstly, physically, I was out of condition. Not only have I neglected my tennis training, but I actually hadn't been to the gym for a few weeks, and I'd had a mega busy schedule with work. So physically, I was out of shape, but also match tightness. Because I hadn't played a match in a long time, I felt a little bit rusty, especially in the first set. I lost the first set 6-4. I was 4-2 down, so I really had to dig deep and get through. And I managed to win that set 6-4 and then win in a 10-point tiebreak. So for the first 2 days following my match, my body was in bits. In particular, my legs and my core, all the way down my sides was aching. And yeah, just really struggled to move for 2 days afterwards. So it really shows how out of shape I was. Not only that, but my feet were in pieces. This is pretty gross, but 4 of my toenails have gone blue since. So I really had to rest up for a few days, which only gave me a few more days to get in shape for my next match. I've been to the gym a couple of times, I've done a full body workout, and I've done a little bit of a cardio session. But my plan today is to just hit a lot of balls with the ball machine and really spend time on my serve as well, because I feel that if I'm serving well, I can dictate play and keep the points short, which is what I need to do in my current state of fitness. But also I'm going to work a little bit on my timing, a little bit on my movement as well, so that when I go into my next match, I'm feeling a lot better from the get-go. Now, I know there's nothing better than hitting with another human being, but I might sound like a bit of a loner when I say this, but I really enjoy just spending time on my own on the tennis court, hitting serves or using a ball machine. I feel like it's very therapeutic for me, and yeah, I can just get on with it and work on the things that I want to work on without having to worry about anyone else. Okay, let's hit some balls. So I'm going to start my session with just some very gentle forehands. I've got the slinger bag set on a very low setting just to pop up some balls for me, just to find my timing. I've actually recently had my rackets restrung by Paul. Lots of you would have seen Paul in previous interviews, but Paul's our stringer at the club. And I've had my Head Speed Pro strung with head links at 52 pounds, which is my general tension. I find that going looser is great for coaching, but this is a tension that I tend to use when I'm playing match players. It just gives me a nice balance of control and power. I'm not going down the line for any specific reason. I'm just finding my rhythm here. Very slowly, just swinging through my shots, trying to feel nice and loose. You'll see that my footwork isn't too intense, it's just very relaxed. I'm going to up the intensity a little bit later in this session, but for now, just really focusing on hitting that ball cleanly. Okay, I'll do some cross courts now. Good thing about hitting with a ball machine is you get no breaks. So although this is very low intensity, I'm already getting out of puff. So apologies for that if you can hear that on the audio. Okay, that's a nice little break for me. Oh. I'm going to start to use my legs a little bit more now. You see me driving a little bit more using my back leg, transferring my body weight forwards. Got to really focus on that early preparation, especially with the slinger bag. Those of you know, it comes out with a lot of topspin. So when that ball bounces, it really comes through quickly. I'll work a bit more spin on that. There we go. Okay, I'm going to change direction now. So line and cross. Get lower. Yeah. So see, when I'm training, I try, when I make a mistake, to make a quick correction straight away. If I hit one in the net, I add more height on the next ball. If I hit it late like that one, my next one's going to be an earlier contact. So always looking to improve on my previous shot. I'm starting to hit my down the line ones a little bit late, so I'll keep going line here. Okay, good. Quick breather. Whew. So yeah, like I say, low intensity, but I'm already out of breath. So for me, it's a bit of a cardio workout too. So I've just moved the camera over and tilted the slinger bag to do some backhand. So we're going to start off real slow, just like before, and gradually build up. Oh, that came through quick. So if you guys have seen me play before, I've posted some match play videos quite a while back now, actually. But yeah, I naturally have a two-handed backhand, but I actually use my slice backhand a hell of a lot, too much. So here I'm just working the timing of my two-handed backhand. It's definitely a flatter shot than my forehand. So it's really important that I can time it well, as it doesn't give me quite so much margin for error. Just like before, hitting quite a low intensity, just hitting it cleanly. Add a bit more spin on this one. There we go. Go line. I find that my double-handed backhand really relies on good positioning, good footwork. And quite often when competing, especially when I get tired, I go back to that slice, as it's far more versatile when you're in a tough spot. Might be low on balls here. Not yet. Jenny's impressed with my ability to keep it over the net. Oh, there we go. I also find the double-handed backhand is a really good tool for return of serve. And keep that swing nice and compact and use my opponent's pace. So I'm pretty good at using it for that, but when it comes to moving around the court, I tend to opt for the slice, which is quite an effective shot for me. Tends to be pretty good at keeping it low and directing it. Right, I think we're out of balls now. I'm gonna go get them up. So what I originally planned to be a 1 hour session is probably more likely to turn into a 30-minute session, as inevitably, as a tennis coach, if you're a tennis coach, you'll know this, that when I finish an hour on court, I'm normally chatting to my player for another 15 minutes at least. And then when my next player is due to arrive, they're normally here 15 minutes early, which is great because I encourage them to get here early to warm up. But it does cut my time down a little bit. So what I'm going to do when I get back on court after picking these balls up is add a little bit of footwork into my forehands and backhands. So increase the intensity a little bit. I'll probably do half a bag of balls and then get straight into the serve. So you can't see it here, but I've set the slinger bag up in the same position that I had for backhands, but I've tilted it slightly wider to push me out of the court slightly more. Now I'm sticking to backhands, as I hit less backhands than I did forehands before, and backhands are my weakness. So it'll be really good for me to train a little bit of footwork on that side, as generally people are going to target that side. And part of my game is being able to keep my backhand solid and then eventually look for opportunities to run around it with my forehand. So I'm going to do a little drill for that here. So first of all, just a bit more footwork with the backhand, so getting pushed out wide and recovering to the center after each one. Really trying not to be too closed with my stance here. Sometimes I even try that open stance backhand. I'm going to do a few slices as that's what I'm going to be using as well. Now you can hear me out of breath much more than before. And pause. So what I think I'll do on this one is I'll split it into sets of 6 so I can really focus on intensity and then resting after each 6 balls. I need to do this more often. So 6 backhands, cross court, aiming for depth. Oh, there it is. Good length, one more. 2. That's a good set. Quick breather. Start again straight away. It takes a few seconds to warm up. I'm going to do 3 sets of this, and then I'm going to bring in the inside out forehand. Sometimes a ball misses the feeder. Let's do 4 more. Oh, there we go. Sorry, had to slice that. 2. Come on, stay balanced. 3. Good, last one was better. Felt a bit more rushed on those. Prepared a bit later. See, a few times there I was meeting the ball quite late. Wasn't preparing my feet and my racket early enough, so I'm going to focus on that here. That's better. And again. Good. I'm going to tilt the machine slightly closer to the center, just a little bit, as I want to run around some of these now. So pattern we're going to go for is 2 backhands, 1 forehand. 2 backhands, 1 forehand. Sets of 6 again. Again, just like that previous set, really focusing on preparing everything as early as possible. So I've got time to be balanced through the shot and to extend through the ball. No snatching. Here we go, 2 backhands. Looking for depth on this one. And then a forehand. Nice. 2 backhands. More depth. Yeah. Nice. I'm going to go for 1 more set of 3. We'll do 9s on this. Go again. 1 more set. So definitely getting a sweat on with this one. And this is, although I'm playing with a machine, I'm setting up an example of what I'm going to be seeing in the match, because I know after a few games my opponent's going to be targeting my backhand. So anytime I can push my backhand deep and push them out of court, I'm going to be looking to get around that next ball and hit my forehand. Whew. Okay, final set of 9. I'm going to give you a different view of this one, but it's the same drill. 2 backhands, 1 forehand, times 3. Good length, repeat. A bit early for that. Right, more height next time. Spin. Wide base. That's the one. Not happy with that set. We're going to do 1 more. Actually, the backhands were okay. Shouldn't be making those unforced errors on my forehand. Got to move quicker. Here we go. Longer swing. Nice. Last set. There we go. So when it comes to serve, you really shouldn't leave it until the last thing in your session. But I needed to physically warm up first by hitting lots of ground strokes before hitting my serve. So treat your serve as a priority. As I mentioned at the start, your serve plays a pivotal role in the match, and generally when you serve well, it sets you up for success. But yeah, as you can see here, I'm starting off really low intensity, not really using my legs too much, just getting that shoulder nice and loose and focusing on my timing and my toss. Kind of looks a bit lazy, but you'll see me start to use my legs a little bit more as I get warmer. Okay, it's already feeling good. I mean, coming off the back of that last match, I already felt that in the second and third set, I was playing way better than I was in the first set anyway, so my tennis is at a better level than what it was at the start of that match. But I'm hoping that this 30 minutes is just going to give me a little bit more when it comes to confidence going into that next match. To be honest with you, just being on court, coaching my players, I'm already timing the ball way better, because in the run up to my last match, I actually hadn't been on a tennis court for a week and a half, which is the most in the last 2 years due to being at the US Open. So yeah, I mean, I was bound to be rusty. So last 5 minutes of the session, now my serves are warmed up, I've set up 2 target bounds at the other end, and I'm going to be practicing my serve +1. So first of all, I'm going to serve out wide, and then I'm going to look to play the next ball into the open court. Oh, that was a tough return. We'll go again. Great return from the target bound. Nice. As you can see, these target bounds are a fantastic tool for serve practice, as it really gets you into good habits after landing, being ready to pounce on the next ball. Yeah, there, lazy footwork. You can see I was out of position there. One more step needed. Too stretched at contact. Kind of shocked me that I returned to my backhand there. Got to get up to it. When I'm serving and I get tired, that's what happens. Don't get up to the ball. Don't use my legs enough. Everything collapses and it hits the net. So really got to prioritize getting up to the ball. Same again. This target bound's got some decent returns. 3 more. No. See, on that ball in particular, I'd go cross. If your opponent's hitting that return well, you want to be playing the high percentage shots. Going down the line on that one was not a good ball. I think anything here, going down the line is a better option, as you've got more time to get ready for that next ball. But when you're pulled that wide, cross, play this percentage. 2 more. Cross. It's better. Last one. Cross. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so I'm going to serve tee now. This is my go-to serve. I tend to hit down the tee on this side more often than not, unless I'm playing on a fast surface and I like my slice out wide. But now I think I'm going to have to tilt the target bound on this one. This is going to create a much lower return, so I'm going to have to be quick off the mark once I hit that target. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I like that. Not easy. Okay, I'm going to keep going until I get 3 targets in a row. One. Good line, got to get up to it though. Start again. I mean, that is bad footwork. Good serve, you've got to back it up with quick feet. The danger sometimes of hitting those bombs is they come back quickly. Right, there's one target. Come on. Okay, here we go. 3 in a row now. One. Am I going to take that? By definition, it hit the target, so we'll take it. There's pressure on this one now then. Here we go. I mean, we've got to take it. 3 targets, but the last 2 hit the rim. So that was my session. It was short and sweet, but I think I got what I wanted from it. I hit some serves. They're feeling better than they were in the match. My ground strokes were feeling good. Although I was out of puff, I already feel in much better shape than I was last week. Probably because I'm back into my normal routine of coaching 8 to 10 hours a day. And off the back of actually playing that 3-set match, today I felt much better. Now, I would love to say to you that I'm going to film this match and show you guys how it goes, but to be honest with you, I don't know if I'm brave enough. To be honest, I don't like asking my opponents if they mind being filmed, but maybe I'll pluck up the courage. Let me know in the comments below if that would interest you at all, if you'd like to see me competing, or if you're just happy watching me train from time to time. As you saw in this session, there was nothing spectacular. It was pretty standard, pretty basic. But to be honest with you, that's what tennis is all about. It's about doing the basics very well, time after time, even when you're under pressure. Anyway, massive thanks as always for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, hit that thumbs up button and consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't done so already. Take care, and I'll see you next time.